In 2019, President Cyril Ramaphosa stated that all ministers would be managed with strict performance evaluation to ensure the improvement of services and hold ministers accountable. Now, civil rights organisation Action Society has sent a formal request for copies of performance agreements signed by all ministers, including Police Minister Bheki Cele, to assess if the evaluations indeed took place. For more on this, we are joined by Action Society spokesperson Ian Cameron. Ian, good afternoon. Clearly you don't believe that the ministers are performing, and I suppose that is the source of this legal exercise that you're going through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the South African Police Service is currently in complete disarray. We all know what the crime challenges are in the country. We face about 60 murders daily. And I think the fact that President Ramaphosa promised that this ministerial evaluation or progress and performance evaluation would be done is crucial, and I think they must be held accountable for that. So if it has been done, I think it's important that it be made public and that they also show what the remedies are where these goals and plans aren't met.
Now, I'd imagine that you've looked at the entire cabinet and all the various departments and assessed which have been the performers and which are the non-performers. So in your perspective, which ministries have not been performing?
Sorry, I'm laughing, but I think it really, at this stage, let's be honest, I don't think anyone in cabinet is really performing very well. If we look at someone like Cyril Ramaphosa, Nathi Ntetwa, I mean, we're at a point where we have a shortage of police members. I'm going to refer to crime because I think it's something that really affects all of us direly. I just returned from a visit in a part of Mitchell's Plain where that is really suffering a lot because of gang violence. And many police members there are completely under-resourced. They've got more than 400 dockets on their table at once. And whilst we could be solving that problem, we've got someone like Nathi Ntetwa looking to start a 22 million rand pole project or a flag project. We've got someone like Bheki Cele that increases the VIP budget, the VIP protection budget, instead of seeing it through that normal South African communities also get the policing attention they deserve. And with respect, we see someone like the Gardi case. It's a tragedy that something like that had to happen, but what makes her more special than the other 153 rape victims and the 60 murder victims that we see every single day? You know, why does she get a 72-hour intervention plan and a ministerial visit? It's just simply not fair, and I think this would make it very much public, but it would also give us an indication as to why we need a professional minister and not just simply an ANC veteran that is appointed.
Now, at what point do you attribute the blame to the minister and not the government itself? So certain ministers will talk about we are insufficiently funded in order to do our task or perform the tasks at hand.
Absolutely. I think there's several things to take into consideration. If we look at the appointment of, for example, national commissioners over the past 20 years, we have not had one national commissioner that hasn't somehow been connected to some kind of corruption. The new national commissioner might be one, and I really hope that he is one that hasn't been involved in some kind of corruption scandal. And the reason why I mention that is that appointment is not only made by the president, but also in conjunction with the Minister of Police. And it seems as though the Minister of Police over the last few years, and even during the time when Minister Bheki Cele was Minister of Police, and same with someone like Minister Nathi Ntetwa, Nathi Ntetwa as well, every single commissioner at that stage was connected to some kind of corruption, and yet they were not really brought to book. We didn't see any real action against them. Every time we just hear they are suspended with pay, they make literally millions of rands of salary paid by taxpayers over years, yet we don't see any real action being taken. So I think it's important that political appointments are held accountable. If they take an oath or a responsibility to serve in that office, they must be brought to book if they don't act.
Now, where is the president in this entire conversation? Because we do recall, well, certainly I recall, that post the July unrest and the fact that the government or the police service was not aware or did not deal correctly with the intelligence around it, the president did say we dropped the ball.
Absolutely. So unfortunately, we haven't seen any real action after that. Either I think the floods in KZN indicated that to us, because many of the disaster management plans that could have been in place with the July 2021 unrest could have actually helped if they were put in place after the unrest for the floods. And it's just a very simple example. One province that even after a year still didn't have the basics in place to really handle these types of issues. So the president does come in with that, because why is he not keeping his cabinet accountable? Why is he not making sure that these ministers, departments do the work that they are paid to do? They literally are paid millions of rands, as I said earlier. And I think it's crucial that the president steps in. So this specific application, this PIA application that we have now launched, has been sent to the president's office, and the information officer of the president's office now has to handle this application. They must then tell us whether they grant the application to give us this information for publication, or we must then launch an internal appeal process, which could then possibly be followed by further legal action.
Ian Cameron is the Action Society spokesperson, and he's speaking to us from Cape Town regarding the legal process that started for presidential publication of Police Minister and other ministers' performance evaluations. Thank you for your time this afternoon.